Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Crew Review.
Who's it for?
For you.
For you?
And me.
Oh, that's sweet.
I don't know if it's for you, Jennifer.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's sad. I'll just go now.
Let's talk about it.
It's
Why?
for you.
Okay, it is for you.
If
can
you
say
want
it.
it to be.
Okay.
A collective you.
A collective you. One world,
One you.
world, one power, one you,
one people,
one podcast,
one podcast, one mug.
4 microphones.
That's my favorite one mug. Right there.
So we're back.
We're back, baby.
Another episode.
I don't
here.
have corona, I promise.
Huh? Why would you say that?
That sounded
I was
awfully
coughing.
defensive over there.
I got the shot, so
Mm.
don't come at me.
So we're back, and we are reviewing The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
We dove into the MCU once again.
We sure did.
Big surprise.
And WandaVision wasn't our last one, was it?
It
Or
sure
was
enough
it
was.
what's
It
the
was.
Hawaiian movie? Did we do that before or after? I don't remember the order.
I think
Ohana? Finding
Are you in
Ohana.
Yeah,
charge
that
of
one.
this?
Yeah, yeah, but it's been a while since I looked at it. So cool. So anyway, this is what we're reviewing now. So go watch it if you haven't. If you have, welcome. Here you go.
we're happy to have you back. We're
Yeah.
here for the first time. Either one.
All right, Beth, hit us with the summary.
You kill me every time you say that. So basically, Falcon and Winter Soldier is happening after Endgame. In the grand timeline of Marvel, you always have to check because they do like to time hop from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam and Bucky are really just dealing with the fact that Captain America, as Steve Rogers, has stepped down. And, or Steve Rogers as Captain America has stepped down and handed over the shield to Sam. Sam doesn't really want to be in charge of that. It's a big responsibility. It's huge shoes to step into and fill. So he is going to hand over the shield, and Bucky is going to just kind of waffle back and forth. He doesn't agree with Sam's decision, and he also doesn't know what to do with himself now that Steve Rogers is out of the picture. So that's where we find ourselves in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Thank you, Beth. I was trying so hard not to laugh. This is a Google Doc, and she kept typing something, and then he was typing something.
We're just adding commentary.
I mean, it's a running commentary.
It's so funny.
All right, some first impressions. How about going into it? What were
Yeah.
you expecting? Did it live up to expectations? So let's just first start with everybody. Was it what you expect, or what were you
Start
expecting?
with everybody, as in
Start with everybody at the same time. Talk.
Jennifer,
We'll just
go.
start with everybody
start
first
different.
saying what they expected.
I really didn't know what to expect. So it definitely exceeded my expectations of not knowing. I just knew I figured we picked up where we left off at the end of,
Endgame.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John?
What was your initial impression? Did you like it?
Like the overall gist
Yeah.
of the show. Did you like it?
Yeah. I liked
Yes.
it a lot.
I think me and a lot of people will say they were a little underwhelmed because we had the expectations of WandaVision, which it was still good, just not at that level. Like WandaVision kind of broke our minds a little,
Mm-hmm.
and my mind was still intact after this one. And I really was hoping for that breakage. Like,
You can't do everything like WandaVision, though. Then it's not special.
boom, mic drop.
That's true, but you also set a bar.
Yeah, they set a really high bar with WandaVision.
They should have set a low bar and kept breaking that bar.
No.
They should have done this one first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah,
But
it was a
still
difficult act
good.
to follow.
I still enjoyed it. I mean, it was still entertaining, and I liked it. Beth?
So I always have high expectations for Marvel because Marvel always does a really good job with plots and having big reveals and tying things in. I was disappointed in this. I really loved the fleshing out and the character development of Bucky and Sam. I thought that part was awesome, but the overall story I thought was really flat and lacking. And and there were no big reveals. Like we had some reveals, but we saw them coming. It wasn't anything like super exciting or like mind blowing. And so I was disappointed and a little underwhelmed.
A little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Kinley.
I was also I was a little underwhelmed. It wasn't exactly what I was hoping for big scale wise, but I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this one either. You've got two characters who are not like prominent Marvel characters for the most part. I mean, they've had their spotlight every now and then, but just kind of two who you wouldn't necessarily think would come together, but are tied together by their Captain America, bond.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of brings them together. And so I felt like the point of this was to set the stage for some future pieces. We've been introduced to some new MCU characters, which I'm already having a real hard time keeping track of everybody. But I like some of the new characters we were introduced to.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of set the stage for some big stuff. And there wasn't as big of a reveal. WandaVision did that as well. But it kind of closed as well.
Yeah.
So we met some new characters that kind of closed down with WandaVision. This one sets it up.
Or did they?
Well, I hope not.
Come on now.
I hope not. But we'll see. But this one sets up some good
they're
ones.
coming back.
Well, and I don't know if anybody was surprised to see Julia Louise Dreyfus in this show as Valentina. Was that it? The little purple-haired lady? You know what I'm talking about?
The purple-haired lady?
That was...
You may have to refresh us because you've seen
we
it.
saw it when it first came out. So
Well, I watched
the.
the whole thing yesterday.
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I'm here for-
how was that experience?
We're so
All
proud of
6
you for
episodes in
binging.
one day.
Thank you. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was...
half a day's worth.
It was...
of watching
We
that.
made it happen. So
That's impressive.
Proud.
thank you. She was the lady who... Yeah, please clap for me. Yeah, thank you.
Round
Okay,
of applause.
that's all I wanted ever. She was Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who was the little woman that helped the fake Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
She kind of had the purple hair and the heels. So, she's from Veep and then was on Seinfeld. So, did you know that?
I know
She was on
exactly who you're
Seinfeld.
talking about. I was like, John, it's that lady. She's famous. I think she was on Seinfeld, but I don't know her name.
I just did not expect her to see her.
I
pop
didn't
up,
either.
and I
I'm
was
like,
hey.
she's a really big name.
Exciting.
Like, what's she doing in here?
So,
Well, Marvel's a big name too.
well,
Big stuff.
So that was pretty.
Man.
That was pretty exciting to see her come on the scene, and then we kind of get to see U.S. Agent. It sets up what was his real name?
John Walker.
John Walker.
Is this reference to the Shield Agents of Shield show? Or I missed something that was like a reference to that show.
You're good. U.S. Agent is like he's coming onto the scene for the first time. Like this is his origin.
So I looked up some stuff in the original comics. Steve Rogers steps away as Captain America for a time, and this guy Jack Walker steps in to John Walker. I don't know. I don't care.
That's
Hey,
okay.
Jack
Jack
is a nickname.
substitute.
Jack.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Wasn't a big fan of this doofus. Anyway,
That's the point.
I hope so. They kind of tried to give him some redeeming, and at the end, I wasn't sure.
I
They
still
walked
don't know
away
what side
friends.
he's
I was
on.
like, and I think he's a secondary villain type, back and forth. He rides the fence sometimes. But anyway, in the original comics, he kind of steps in as Captain America for a while, and then they rebrand him as something else, and then finally rebrand him as U.S. Agent.
Okay.
And he's
Yes.
and the outfit he has is an original Captain America design, the black with the flag. So that was
Gotcha.
interesting.
Gotcha.
So now that we've mentioned him, let's just dive into talking about John Walker and how you guys felt about him stepping in as the new,
hate him.
new Captain America.
He's nobody. Who does he think he is?
I don't know about y'all,
He can't step in those shoes, that shield,
but of course when
those SH words. Sorry, what?
Okay, stop.
I had to finish my spiel. Sorry, go
your
ahead.
little rants over there.
Yeah.
I was outraged. Literally outraged when he stepped out with the shield, and he could have been anyone. And I would have been mad. I was like, how
He could have been
dare-
a hamster.
It could have been, and I would have been mad. I'm like, how dare you replace Captain America? It is too soon. I am not okay with this.
I was super uncomfortable the whole time.
So I felt like Falcon should have kept the
Uncomfortable.
shield, even if he didn't want to be Captain America. I'm just like, this is going on my wall because that's my buddies.
Can we just talk about how the U.S. government screwed somebody over yet again? Took the shield and just was like, thanks for donating it to the Smithsonian.
That obviously is
We're
not
not going to
stay
use
there.
it for the Smithsonian. We're going to use it for a whole new program and lie to you. That can't.
I feel like that was one of my issues. I was like, this was donated to a museum. Can the government really pull this out and use it again? Because I didn't like that.
I feel like legally, Sam had did something wrong. Like if they're able to do that.
I mean, it's like, let's pull out Betsy Ross's original flag and fly it over the Capitol because it's our property. Like, that's what this feels like to me.
No,
That'd be pretty
you can't
cool.
do that. Betsy would not approve. She'd be rolling over in that grave.
I mean, granted, like, her flag is made out of cloth. The shield is made out of vibranium. There is a difference in material. It just felt weird to me. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is a museum donation.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, it serves its purpose. It enrages you.
Yes.
Like that's what you're like,
Yeah.
how in the world? And like you said, Beth, it could have been anybody. That's the point of this person stepping in Captain America. It's not okay. And then, of course, the character himself, a little too cocky, little
So
too,
cocky.
like, you've got to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you not know that the other Avengers might not want to be your best friend immediately? You're surprised by this?
Yeah.
A lot of issues that I had with this character is before he got the serum, he was still doing stuff that no human should be able to do. And like the physics of it, like being able to handle that shield the way he did, or like take a punch or fall off a building and still be okay. I'm like, no, if you fell off a building, you would either die or be in a hospital for like the rest
When
of
he
your life.
fell off the truck and hit the windshield of the
Yeah,
car
yeah.
and just got up, I was like, no.
No, they don't work like
He
that.
doesn't have super strength yet.
So here's the real question. Why in the world did the government think it was okay just to get some random person out of the army, give him the vibranium like shield and say, you're okay? Like, the shield is great, but what else does this guy bring to the table? Like, what else can he do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have any other projects going on with like experimenting with people with serum that they could have pulled from. Like, it's a little dangerous to me.
And then, like, the part that just enraged me all the more was that they tried to endear him to us, you
Yes.
know? And I was mad about that. I was like, I'm not okay with this. And it kind of, I relate this to, like, when Doctor Who changes over, especially between Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi, which is a different universe.
They
that we're
think they
talking-
can just pop one in there and it's totally fine.
It's really hard. It's
not
really hard,
fine.
especially as a fan. And, you know, they tried to endear him, and it just enraged me all the more. And
Yeah,
again,
Beth
it could have
didn't
been
like it.
anyone. It was nothing against John Walker.
Nah,
I
I
just
think
was
it's 12.
not ready for a transition. Other than the one that Captain America himself had appointed, which was Sam.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting just to think about. He has taken this serum and no one knows it right now. Like, still with this episode ending, I don't know if he told his wife or not, but he's got this, and
I
that's
thought
Well, they
or
caught
she
the
knew.
video of
She
him
knew.
doing
Yeah.
She
the
knew.
murder.
They've got the murder, but
Doing
they
the
still
deed.
didn't. They didn't talk about the fact that he had the serum. Like, I don't know if they. I feel like they wouldn't have just dismissed him, knowing he had the serum because of what the serum can do. You know what I mean? So anyway, it's just very interesting that that's still at play.
And let's just talk about the serum for a minute. You have the serum, and clearly, like with Captain America, if you're gonna step into his shoes, I would study his life hardcore. Like, he was a scrawny little dude who had all the courage in the world, and it like brought out the best in him. We also have Red Skull, who took the same serum, and look what happened to him. I would be real concerned about taking the serum. I think it's a good time to like do a serious heart check of like, can I actually
Get your
handle
heart
this?
right, then bottoms up.
Am I going to become a red face? Like, you know, the Red Skull lost his nose. I would be really upset about that.
Well, and I think, in my opinion, the serum's kind of targeting like where,
Yeah.
like you said, the deepest parts. And
Yeah,
we saw some of
that
his
character.
deepest parts was this insecurity
Mhm.
with being compared like to another Captain America. Like, he's got this insecurity being in this Captain America role. So that serum just brings that all out, and he's just a nut because of it. So
What do you think about
Thoughts?
the nut?
do you want to go on vacation
the
with
question
John
again.
Walker?
What a weird question.
A very weird question.
No. I'm just curious.
She answered
Anybody a
right.
yes? No? Okay, good.
Oh man, but yeah, it's so interesting. So I'm curious to see like where we go with U.S. Agent and the part he will play moving forward.
Yeah.
All right. Next
Sharon.
topic. Sharon.
Sharon.
Sharon Carter. She's from that other show, though, right? Somebody's from that show.
Are you
The
talking
other
about
show.
Agent Carter? She was on S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit, wasn't she? I think
That's
she was
what I
on
was
S.H.I.E.L.D.
asking.
She
Yeah.
might have been. I stopped watching after
I was
season
reading
one.
some stuff. She was on S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I had never seen it, but I thought I remember seeing like an advertisement with her in
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah,
yeah, okay, cool.
Peggy's niece.
Peggy's
Yeah.
great niece.
Jennifer did call that she was the power broker.
Mhm.
Ashley did
I
as
will
well.
vouch for her.
Ashley did as well.
Yeah, that was
I
not
called
a
it
shocking
early. I was
reveal.
like, I bet it's that blonde girl.
I
Well,
was like,
it's
it's
a-
too obvious. It wouldn't be her. And then I was like, oh, it's her.
The subtitles betrayed me because, well, they didn't betray me.
I
They
was
betrayed.
saying-
It's not like I trusted them and then they betrayed me. They just once again have scorned me. But Ashley can't watch
Scorned
without
them.
subtitles. She wants the subtitles, and it's not okay sometimes. But anyway,
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
so when she gets on the phone and she like at one point calls somebody and says, "I've got a job for you," it's the guy that she hires. It totally shows his name, and I'm there. Like then I'm just like, he's like, it says
Yeah.
whatever his name was, Linux. Was it Linux? Anyway, I can't
Not
remember.
like a software
Figuring.
security thing.
Do what? Linux is a China.
Yes, China.
Oh, what am I thinking of?
Synex,
Again, maybe it's like an antivirus software.
I think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Syntax.
So Linux, yes.
Anyway, whatever the guy's name was, it totally shows his name, and then he shows up with what are those? The
Flag Smashers?
Flag Smashers. And I'm just like, well, wonder who sent him in there, and how does she have that pull? Well, maybe she's got some power. Maybe she's brokeraging some power. Is that the right word? Brokeraging. Brokeraging.
Have you ever tried smashing a flag? It just doesn't do anything to it.
Interesting. We'll need to try this.
How? Okay.
Maybe that there's deeper meaning. They think they're doing something, but they're not.
The whole branding of the Flag Smashers, like, I had a hard time keeping a straight face anytime somebody was like, the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, that was very cheesy.
You've got Flag Smashers who have this slogan of one people, one world, and then a handprint is their little logo. And I actually pointed out in the palm there's a globe, so it does tie the world together. But other than that, none of these things go together. It's
It
just
was
random.
very cheese.
I felt like there was like, and again, I feel like we're setting up some bigger things happening. But the force here, the villainous forces at play, weren't impressive.
They weren't.
The Flag Smashers, at times the fake Captain America. Even, we didn't see a whole lot of Sharon as the power broker in villain
I know,
mode.
it was like the very last thing.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
am the power broker.
now she's got the resources of the United States government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for her to take off. Yes.
That would be Beth.
Be a
If
power.
Beth was evil, that would be Beth. My
I was
goodness.
disappointed in Sharon. I was like, what you doing, Sharon? Peggy would not approve.
No, but I'm kind of excited to
I knew
see
you
her.
would be. I knew you would be. I knew you would like it. I knew you would. It's fine. I thought, I'm going to say that I don't like this, and Beth's going to love every minute of it.
But if she doesn't like fully step into it, I'm going to be disappointed. It's
Yeah.
like you have all, like you said, all the resources of the United States government and all the resources from your current resource pool and whatever that city's name was. But if you do not step fully into this and go full evil, it's just going to be such a disappointment. You know?
Yeah. I think if they try and make that character...
She's
Have-
a redeemable villain, though, because she's Peggy's great niece.
I was just going to say, though, if they try and make it redeemable, I'm going to be mad. I needed to go into full villain mode or turn it off. There's just... It's just
Burn
weird.
it all to the ground.
What I'm curious about with with WandaVision and now this show is when they go back to movies, are they going to maybe force the audience to assume that the audience has seen the shows?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like-
Yeah, these are part of the MCU.
So for people who are like movies only, they're gonna miss out.
Right,
Yeah.
because they alluded. I mean, I felt like I was missing a few things in this one. It's been a while since I've seen some stuff, but there were a couple things here and there, I think, especially with Sharon, that were alluded to in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
that I missed
Yeah.
because I didn't watch all
Right.
of that. And so, especially like now, I think they're going to, it's canon.
Yeah.
It's like Star Wars. You have to see all the shows on the side.
Yeah. It's
Stay
becoming
caught up.
that. Which is fine. I'm going to watch them all. They're great, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Some people may miss it. You know what? It's like if you don't read the books in Harry Potter, you miss 2/3 of it. So
And it's your
I had
fault.
to drop that reference.
Yeah. And it's your
I
fault
said
if
Star
you do
Wars.
that.
You had to say Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The stronger
I feel like Harry
fandom,
Potter's
let's be
mentioned at
honest.
least once a day.
Yeah.
Are you really living if you don't mention Harry Potter and The
Let's
Office?
talk about this.
And
In the office.
And The
That's so good.
So, favorite characters
Mm.
and least favorite characters. Think on that.
Bucky is my favorite.
Is he?
Yeah.
He was awesome.
We haven't
I do-
spent a lot of time talking about Bucky, have
I
we?
do
So
love
many
Bucky. Well, I was
characters.
saving that because I
wasn't-
do love
yeah,
Bucky.
I wasn't as big a fan of Sam, and it may just be because we didn't have as much backstory. He just kind of got dropped into the Avenger movies.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I mean, they gave him some backstory in this, but I was never really attached to Sam as much. And he was okay. He's not a bad character, but Bucky, you've been with him since the beginning, from the first Captain America, and seeing his transformation and everything he's been through, and you feel for him,
Yeah.
And he was just awesome.
I feel like that's a solid point because like Sam, we have these tiny little nuggets here and there, and he's a good guy, and we know that, but that's it. And it's like you said, we don't really have a reason to root for him other than he's just a good guy. Whereas Bucky, like we've
He's got a
seen
cool suit.
the good guy, we've seen the bad guy, we've seen the hurt and the wounds, and he's had like a rocky ride through the MCU.
I feel like writing failed us here a little bit with Sam.
Yeah.
Bucky already, like John said, and I agree. You're already pretty much vested with Bucky. 'Cause he's been there since Captain America.
Yeah.
But you get a little more of an emotional backstory for Bucky, even more,
Yeah.
which is good. Having to deal with, making amends and going through therapy and talking to this sweet old man whose son's died, and you piece it together, and he's the one that killed him, and he's trying to fix that.
Yeah.
That is great. But it's this much of the story. It's so tiny.
Right.
And Sam, you don't have any backstory, and
I
you're
got a
dropped.
boat.
And you're supposed to just feel bad for he and his sister about to lose their boat and their house, and you get tidbits that their parents are really good people and they lent stuff. Could we not have done some flashback to the
Right.
parents?
Yeah.
Could we have spent a little more time there for Sam? I think that would have helped out a little bit,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
especially setting Sam up to be our new Captain America. To have that emotional connection, it would have been, I think, beneficial to
We
see
need
that.
to see what he lost to
Yeah.
really like fully appreciate what was happening.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like more Bucky.
Yeah.
I just feel like we had some, and we need to balance it out with Sam to feel that with Falcon.
That suit, though.
It's good.
At the end.
Look good.
Y'all, this is so interesting to me. So Hallmark Christmas ornament catalog
Oh.
spoiled this show.
Hallmark, what
Yeah.
you doing?
Because they
They-
released it too soon, didn't they?
They
released it
dropped
Yeah.
their ornament catalog, and it had Falcon
Somebody got fired.
in his new outfit, and it was before we had the reveal that
Nicholas.
Falcon was stepping into Captain
Somebody
America.
definitely got fired.
I
Oh,
think that's so
man.
great.
That's so bad.
It's literally the best.
I'm glad I didn't know that before, because I'd have hated to have that spoiled.
I was about to watch a video and they're like, I'm pretty sure someone just spoiled the suit. And I was like, nope.
No.
Nope.
Swipe.
Nope.
Swipe.
TikTok.
Also,
Man.
favorite characters. I really like Bucky's therapist.
Oh,
I was,
yeah.
can we
Oh,
just
yeah.
talk about that awkward therapy session between Bucky and Sam?
Closer. Closer.
Closer. That was funny.
That's
I
pretty
really
good.
loved that.
And I also liked Zemo.
Zemo,
Zemo.
Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
I was there for
Oh,
Zemo.
he was so funny. He
That
was a
man
good
has
comedy.
resources.
He was that likable villain.
Yeah.
Everyone was there
Yes.
for it.
Yes, I am team
It's like
Zemo.
you're a terrible person.
And I
and
just
don't
like
care.
slips away every time
Yeah.
someone has their back to. It's like,
Like the
Where's
reason he's
Zemo?
so great is yes, he's evil, but he also has class and just extreme confidence.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah. I think my top three, my favorite characters tied top three for Zemo. And then the woman who flew the helicopter, she was part of this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's the equivalent of the UN's like Security
Yeah.
Council or whatever.
Yeah.
She
trying
was
to-
awesome.
And, talks in the head. Like, she was great. And the third tie is Zemo's butler. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were
And
gonna
he
like him.
He
Yes.
blew up and killed the other, was it just the four remaining
Yes.
super soldiers? And I was like, he was this like little, tiny old man who obviously was just around because he's been with that family for forever
Ever.
Yeah.
and was still there, but took care of business in his Rolls Royce at the end, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. That was
So
awesome.
great.
So great.
Loved it.
Yeah. I love that they brought in the Wakandians.
Yes.
Is that how you say that? Did I say that right?
I think
they
that
have a soldier name
Wakandians.
though.
They
Yeah,
do.
they're
Oh.
that unit, but I don't know. What,
They were awesome.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
I
that they
love
brought
them
them.
ferocious.
so
And I was
much.
like, please let them fight. Please let them fight. And then when they had that scene, was it, I guess, the 5th or 6th?
Oh my gosh.
I wish she disabled his arm.
loved when, Sam and Bucky know what's up and they're like, dude, John Walker, don't engage.
I was
and
there
then,
for some fake Captain America butt kicking. I was there for it.
Yeah.
and he was just super confident and goes and he gets his butt kicked and it was great. But it was just, I just loved that them and Zemo all knew that was something you do not cross the Wakanda warriors.
I loved
and
when
I loved
when they like stopped Bucky's arm.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And
did
she-
you know they could do that?
I was like, no.
Disabled it, dropped it. It was so great.
That was good.
How were you, to John Walker, how in the world were you not paying attention to the events of the past however many years that you don't know about these soldiers from Wakanda? What is wrong with
And
you?
they came out to the public by then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
They were a
he's
part of the
dumb.
end game,
no excuse.
final battle.
They have a
people
Starbucks
know,
and Olympics.
They know what's going on.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
dumb.
But I'm with you. I'm super glad they
I'm
brought
a
them back
regular
up.
human with a shield. I can take care of you.
The fact that he lasted as long in that fight as he did, also, he is not super strong at this point.
I want to know. We talked about his super strength being a little point, and it might be because he now has super strength. But when he shows up in a handmade Captain America costume, and a fake shield, can someone say pathetic? But also, how did that shield not get torn up way quicker than that?
Yeah.
It must have been his strength on the other side. I don't know. I was just like, that little fake shield. I was, did your mom make it for you, buddy? No. Okay.
Well, we're almost out of time, but do we have any other major highlights that we need to
I
touch
love
on?
the fact that we have barely touched on Carly and the Flag Smashers, yet they were
Yeah,
the
okay,
running
okay.
villains of this show.
Yeah,
Any
she
thoughts
was
on
on
them?
she was on Solo.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, Star Wars.
Yes.
Yeah, she played pretty much the same
The
role.
same role, but in space.
but in space.
Mm.
That's the
So
difference.
Yeah.
There's just-
I like her though. She seems to be very confident as an actress.
I liked the
I
actress.
want to see her in more things.
Again, I feel like the writing failed us here a
The
little
writing,
bit.
I
yeah,
think absolutely
that's not on
failed.
her though.
It's not.
But
It was
she
kind
seems
of
to have a good
cloudy
enthusiasm,
Yeah.
because I was like, they kind of talked at the beginning like these people wanted the world during the blip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They really wanted that. But then they talk about how their lives are mattering and they're caring about people, and then that's why it's so weird when they start killing people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, they really didn't. It was just some kind of confusing what they wanted. And Ashley
Yeah,
made a
I
point
agree.
that there was this kind of Red Cross mindset during that time when people were missing, where everybody took care of everybody,
Yeah.
and they're trying to get back to that mindset, which is good. But it was just kind of weird. And then of course, the greed of
Spiral
what they
out.
want and killing people, it's gonna outweigh,
Yeah.
I feel like it would have
Takes
been,
over.
like you said, it would have been so much more powerful if we had had some flashbacks to that time frame and we could have seen what they experienced and why they were fighting so hard for this instead of just jumping into they're the villains. And if we had had that emotional tie, I really feel like the tension would have been a lot greater and the story would have
Yeah.
been a lot more interesting because we would have understood both sides.
That woman who kind of took care of her, raised her, that passed away, we don't know anything really
Yeah.
about how. That would have been a great opportunity to see some specific moments from her childhood and why she is triggered by this
Right.
because of this happening. Kind of what we did
Left
in
a lot of-
WandaVision when Agatha took her back, you
Yeah.
know, to see it all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
good. We're setting the stage for some.
Yeah.
We're right at the beginning of the next phase.
Yes,
you know,
we are.
That's,
I
that's
mean,
true. That's
so
true.
it's a foundational block.
Is Black Widow next phase? Is she supposed to be the first one of the movies?
Of the movies,
Of the
yes.
movies.
Yeah, so we've got Loki and we've got Black Widow coming out. Loki is dropping on June 9th. I'm super
Nice.
excited. So, and then we've got Black Widow just on the hills, like
Just on the hills.
of all of this.
Where's
so.
Black Widow? She in the hills.
I don't know why I chose that phrase, but there you go.
Can't take it back.
Can't take it back. But yeah.
Cool.
And then we've got like a huge lineup coming up after that. So
Well, sounds exciting. Let's drop a review, shall we?
I think Ashley's was 5.
Okay.
That's the last number I heard. So mine was a 4.5 for this one.
Okay.
So writing most of all. Writing just kind of
Yeah.
most of, the actress did a great job.
Mhm.
yeah.
Just needed a little something more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in that middle of the road 5.5. Like, I needed more depth. And
Yeah.
I loved, like, you know, like getting to have that journey with Sam and Bucky and getting to unpack those characters. But there were just a lot of moments I felt like could have been deeper and we could have had some greater reveals.
Yeah. 6.5 is what I gave it, but yeah, just needed better writing. But I overall enjoyed it. Thought it was very entertaining and
There were some funny moments.
Yeah, there were some funny
yeah,
moments.
the
Good humor.
humor was really. I mean, it's up,
right on
up to
par with the
par.
rest
Yeah,
of it.
The
And
word was
beautifully
par.
done.
Mm-hmm.
The city they went to
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. Madrick.
The Asian city.
Madrigal or something. So, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
The Power
it was,
Broker was
it was just really pretty
super
to see.
cool.
Really
Yeah,
good
Super
job.
that's
cool.
cool.
I would a whole handful.
Whole handful of
That's
fives.
5.
Wow.
Yeah. 5.0.
So drum roll, that gives us. Oh, never mind. Ashley's changed it to a 6.
Did she just text you?
Yes, she did.
Oh, a
a
last minute
4.5.
switch off from
Steph
Ashley.
gave it a 5.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I had it right on. John gave 6.5.
Yeah.
Jennifer gave it a 5. All right.
Math.
It was always 6. Sorry, Ash. That gives us a group rating of 5.5.
Well, there you go.
Right down the middle. Yeah.
All mainly because of writing.
Yeah.
Look at you guys. I'm so proud. Can we just talk about how when we started this podcast, y'all were like, it's a 9, it's an 8. And now, who's got the low numbers now?
There were some good ones up there that you really crapped on.
Yeah.
but-
Where is this coming from?
I'm not changing any of my answers from my previous
I
movies.
stand by what I
stand
said.
by
I'm
everything.
I'm saying, look at y'all bringing in the truth and the cold, hard numbers. I'm proud.
I always speak
Well,
the
on
truth.
that happy note,
One world,
One cup.
one cup.
one cup.
That's what I said, right?
That's
One
right.
mug.
One
One
mug. Let's try this again. One world.
One mug.
All right.
There you go.
Beth, close us out.
Until next time, we go bake tonight.